Hello and welcome back to Occupy Mars. We are currently looking at how we can start to grow crops. So in the previous videos, we've looked at electricity, we've looked at how we can farm materials, we've looked at how we can survive, but what we need is food. We're actually quite desperate for food because right now we're down to our last 2 ration packs and we're hungry, which means we're about to eat one, which means we are now down to our last ration pack. That means we have not much time before we're going to die. That means we need to be able to get some food. So how do we do that? Well, we're going to need what is the planting tool, and we're going to need the seed magazine. The seed magazine is found within the survival capsule, and hopefully you haven't wasted any yet. So if we look on here, it tells us what is the supply and what is the demand. Now we did our electricity, if you remember. There's 0.7 for the incubator and 1.3 for the shelf. We're also going to need to use water, but we've been building up a water supply. We have 600 litres in reserve, which is great. So we can now open up. We can get our seed tool here, our potatoes. Now we did use 2 of them as a test. I used those earlier. But now what we're going to do is we're going to put these down. So we can fill this up just by holding down left click, or you can just click as you go along, one at a time. But you can hold down the button as well, and these are now full. What this means is these are going to grow. Okay, so now if we close this, it says the plants are withering. But why? Why are they withering? Well, that's because we haven't got enough water. So we need to allow 2 litres of water and 0.7 energy for potatoes inside the incubator. That will ensure that they do not wither. As long as we have that power constantly coming in and we have that water constantly coming in, that means that they will be able to stay in that state for as long as we want. That's absolutely fine. So we can leave those in there and they are absolutely fine now. Now, there are 2 ways we can do this. You can see here it says the potato seedling, the growth is 0% and it is at plant stage 1 of 2. What that means is that this will only do 50% of the growth. Once it reaches 50%, we will then need to take them out of here and we will need to put them onto here to finish that growth cycle. Now, we could put our plant seeds directly onto here. And if we do that, what will happen is they will still grow. And I'm going to do that right now. We're going to use this as well. So what will happen here is they will grow and they will do both cycles. Now, again, we need to make sure we've got enough water. So this requires 3.6 litres. So we are now using 5.6 litres and we only have 6 litres coming in. That means that we're only during a day making 0.4 litre per day. And it's important at this stage that we ensure that we have enough energy to be able to supply that well 24 hours. That means that we need to have power going from our battery up to our well so that the well can have water during the night. So let's have a check and see how this all looks. We've already connected up our power. We've got our 7 power supply that we need. This is 35 kilowatts of power. The 35 kilowatts of power are coming into here, and that is 35 kilowatts of power now going out. We're allowing all of that to go out. But we don't want to waste it, obviously, so we want to make sure that only 5 kilowatts goes here into the well, and then the rest of it can go into here. So that is going to be... There we go. We'll do 5.3 and we'll do... so that's 15% and that's 85%. Now, it won't use more than it needs. So it won't use that 0.3. It's not going to be wasted. And this also, we've got 29 kilowatts now going into the base. We don't need 29 kilowatts. That's a bit too much. So we can take off 1% and we can put it here into slot 3. We only need 1% here. And what that will allow us to do is we can open this and we can charge our suit. So if we click on this now, we're going to charge our suit. We don't need much power to do this. So now our suit is recharged. We could also, if we needed to, for the ATV, use the 4th slot to power up the ATV and charge it. Because we have more than enough. We have 30 kilowatts coming into the base. And if we look at the base, we know that we have 10 here, plus 2, plus 2.5, plus 2.5. So we know that we only have 17 going out. Which means that the rest that's not being used should store up into the battery. And we can see that here. We have 59, now 62 energy in the battery. So that's great. As long as we have enough power to see us through the night cycle. Remember that of a nighttime, because of the amount of power that we are using, we have to be careful of this, because if we get the power calculation wrong, the plants will start to die, which is why it is so important to know. So we know that we are using, in terms of power going out, 17 for our base, and we know that we have 5 going out for our well. Which means over the course of a night, even though we have 35 going out, we're not using all of that. We have 17 going into our base. In fact, I can even bring this down so it's just the right amount. What was that? That would be there. So we would use that much. So we have 22.8 going out. We don't even need this one. We can turn this one off for now. So now we know we have 22.4. This is not really that much, so it's fine. So let's just say 23 for argument's sake. So we know that we have 23 going out. Now that's going to be over the course of 12 hours. So if we have 23 going out over the course of 12 hours, that's 276. That means that to get us for a full night, we need 276 in the capacity by nighttime. That will see us through a full night cycle. Now, our plants are currently growing. There's nothing else we can do at the moment, so we're just going to go to sleep. We're just going to wait. Now, I know it's daytime. I'm just doing this for the purpose of this video. So we're going to check everything out on our suits here. So we know that we're going to need water in a little while. We can go and get that. But let's go to sleep. We're going to wake up later on in the evening. Let's say 5:30 in the evening. Which is good because that's just before the 6:30 cutoff. So this is a great time for us to see, do we have enough power to get us through the night? Remember how much power we said we're going to need to get us through the night. Do we have enough? Let's go out. We're going to go and check our battery. We have 215 power. 215 power. So we're close. We're close. But remember what I said. If we have enough power to get us through the night, then the crops won't die. And that's important. We want to make sure our crops live throughout the night. So we know, again, we know how much power we've got going out. So we know we have 23. We know that's for 12. And so we know that that means we need 276 power to see us through the night. We only have 221, which means we're going in the early hours of the morning to lose power. So what I might do just for now to see us through the first night is I might put this down to 0 and this down to 0. Okay, if I do that and I can put this one up to 75%, whatever we need, it's fine. This means that we're not going to be sending power to the well tonight. And that's fine because we don't need it. And the reason we don't need it is because we've got enough power in storage at the moment to see us through at least a couple of weeks. That means that we're only going to be using 17 power at night. Okay? That's it. Which means we should have enough now to see us through. So let's have a look and see how our plants are doing. Our plants are currently at 12.5% in here. 12.5%, and in here these are at 9%, so growing a bit slower on here. Now the reason that we put them in the incubator, as I mentioned, is you get an additional 25% yield by using the incubator. I'm just going to charge my suit. There we go. And I'm going to go and grab some water as well because I need to hydrate, and then we're going to go to sleep We're going to wake up in the morning, or just before the morning. We're going to wake up to check the batteries and see. We think they're going to run out. We're going to just double check that to make sure. But we want to check the condition of the plants and see how they are. So let's just get some hydration here. Yeah, look, the plants are already withering. So this is because we have no water going in here because we've just disconnected the water source. So we need to make sure we put some water in. Okay, so let's connect that hose up. That's important. Perfect. Because without that hose, there is no water going into those plants. So we needed to hydrate. We did that. If it was during the day or we had enough power going in there, we could just recharge our bottle. But I don't want to use any excess power at the moment. I want to make sure we have enough. So it's very important you're managing your rations effectively. It's very important that you're managing everything that you have effectively. And now we're going to go to sleep. And so we can wake up at 4 o'clock in the morning. That's perfect. So we can wake up, let's just say 3:30. And we're going to go and check on our electric. Now, this is going to be close. Obviously, we don't want to leave it this close. If you're worried that you aren't able to generate food quickly enough, take the ATV, or if you don't have the ATV, run to another base and go and find yourself. You could always just take a circuit board out of the transponder, but just remember, if you've got no energy or no power in here. All right, so it's 4 o'clock in the morning and we have 50 energy left. 50 energy left, which means we have 2.5 hours to go. We need, what is that, 34, about 40 power. It means we're going to be left with about 10 power. So we've got enough power to see us through the night. But we are not bringing any water in, which means we're using 6 liters per hour, which means we need to be aware that our water resource is going down. And if we don't fix it, we will have a problem. So let's have a look and see how these plants are doing. These are now at 25%. Great, they're growing nicely. And these ones at the moment are at 18%, but they're still growing nicely and they've got enough water. So again, we can check the panel. We know that we're giving it enough water and we know we're giving it enough energy. Great, we can go back to sleep. Now there's 2 things that we need to do here. We will need to take some seeds and use them to create more seeds. And as well, we'll need to eat. So 2 things that we're going to need to do. Now, at the moment, we don't have a food processor. And the reason for that is if I go to my tech tree in my botany, I can make a fridge. Okay, that's the first thing I can do. I can make a fridge. But what we need is we need 2 things. A seed machine and a food processor. A seed machine and a food processor. Now, we have enough seeds right now. So the food processor is really going to be the important thing for us. We need to make this. This is also going to take up electricity, so we need more electricity. The same with the fridge, takes up electricity, so we need to be able to manage that effectively. And that's now the problem that we have. But the fridge is going to allow us to store our food. So once our potatoes are ready, we can then eat them. But if we need to store anything, we can store it in the fridge and it keeps things fresh for longer. Okay, so now we need more botany points to be able to finish this off. We're just going to go to sleep for now. If we sleep, we're going to be able to sleep until the afternoon. So let's just do that. We'll sleep until 1 o'clock in the afternoon. I don't recommend sleeping so much, but at the moment, I'm only focused on the botany. And I want to get us to that point where we can survive as long as we need. Because we have power, we have oxygen, we have water, and we have food. Alright, so let's go inside and see how our plants are doing. And this is kind of all you're going to do at the start of the game, is just get to this point where you're comfortable that you're able to grow these. Here we go, look, 34%, they're almost there, and these ones now are at 26%. So, again, we need some more sleep. We are hungry, so we're going to have to use our last ration pack now. That's it. We have no more ration packs. We can't eat anything else. There's nothing else we can do at this stage. Now, we could put more of these down. We could use more power if we need to. It's very possible we can do 2 of these. As long as we've got enough solar panels to be able to do that, we could do that. Use the blueprint, put this down. We know we're going to need some more electronics for this. We've got the small engine, we've got the pack of screws, but we need 4 more electronics, so we're short on electronics. We might be able to print those, otherwise we need to go and mine some more resources. I'm not going to do that in this video, but it just shows you what you can do if you're worried about food and you need to be able to create some more food. So we'll see if we've got enough. I don't think we have. Oh, we do. We can make 4 more electronics. So we can put a second one of these down. Just in the early stages, that might help us out. But now we need to be aware of the impact on the load that that's going to have for electricity. Because if at any point our electric falls below, our plants are going to die. We don't want that to happen. It's really, really important that doesn't happen. So, okay, we're going to just use this up. So we've used that up. We can scroll using the mouse wheel up and down. So we've got a second seed gun here. So we can just fill these up as well. Perfect. So that's now full up as well. We can close this. But what you must now be aware of is that we are going to be draining water quicker than we are generating it. So now we have 7.6 water going out. We don't have enough water. And that means that now, in order to continue with our growing of our vegetables, we are going to need to come outside and we are going to need to come up to our well. Now, if we make a second well, it's not going to work because we can't fit it onto here. Which means we need to go to our tech tree, look at our materials, and we need to build a pump. We can do that because we have enough, because we grinded with the grinder to get materials. So now we have a pump. So now what we need to do is we need to build a pump. Well, what does that require? In resources for a pumping station, we need a glass plate, we need 2 more electronics, and a small circuit board. That means we need to jump onto our ATV and we need to go and look at some local bases. We need to acquire a small circuit board and we need to bring it up here. I'm going to just put the pump down. Okay, so the pump is going to sit just here like this. Now, again, we can't build it at the moment because we don't have the required pieces. So what I'm going to do at this stage is I'm going to pause this video and I'm going to head out to a base and I'm going to pick up some more resources. And when I come back, we'll finish off this pump station. So remember, glass plate, electronics, and a small circuit board. That is what we're going to be looking for. Okay, we're back. I've just found a local base. I was really fortunate actually. Whilst I was there, I managed to find a couple of additional rations. So I've got a few more rations now just to see me through an extra day. Takes that pressure off a little bit. And you might be lucky, you might not. I was. And so I was able to find that. I was able to find a small circuit board. I was able to find a small circuit board. Oh, it's damaged. It needs repairing. So I'm going to have to go and repair that. I'll do that quickly now. And then that will allow me to finish off the pump station. Now, I am going to have to go and farm some more resources to create a second well. The pump station works in a similar way to how the ECU works with the power. So where you're able to generate 4 solar powers into 1 transistor, you can do 3 wells, free water wells into a pump. And that allows you to have that same effect where you're being able to generate 6, then 12, then 18 liters of water. And you can then send that through 1 line. That allows you to create more water. So we just need to go ahead and repair this, which looks like it's missing some things. So what is that? A coil type 1. It says it's missing. Coil type 1. Which is there. That needs to kind of go around there somewhere. Perfect. And then we've got a line missing as well. So we're going to come over the top here, have a look. First of all, let's grab our soldering tool. Okay, so we need to get rid of that. That's one thing we need to do. And then we're going to need to solder this in. So let's just move this out of the way so we can see what we're doing. There we go. Rotate this round so we can see the other one, which is hidden there. There we go. Perfect. Nice and easy. So there we go. We've repaired that board. We can now use this board to come up here. If you see any of these little lumps on the floor, you can pick these up. This is extra material. Okay, so now we've got that working small circuit board. We can finish this pump station. Perfect. So what we can do now, the pump doesn't require any energy, electric, or anything like that. We don't need anything like that. What we can do is we can remove this water pipe. I've just deleted it for now, so we can rebuild it. We're going to put this new one on here. And this is going to go from here to the water pump. Now, when I first saw this, I was like, one's red, one's green, and one's blue. It doesn't matter. If I take this pump off and put it on here, it will change it to blue. So it changes it to whatever color the pipe is that is on it. You can also do it from the display here. So if I was to change that to red, again, that would now be red. So I can change it here. You don't need to worry. It's not just one or the other. So right now I have one pump coming in here, and I want 100% of that pump coming out. There's nothing there, so that's fine. So we have one pump coming in, and 100% of it coming out from pump 1, which is here. And that means I can simply take my pipe, connect this pipe, and run it all the way down here with this wire, and plug it back in. Now I can build 2 additional wells, and 2 additional water wells will mean, I just need to put that in there, that's perfect. Also, I've bypassed at the moment, you can see some wires on the floor. I needed this circuit board. This circuit board I had to put into the ATV to go to the base, and I don't have a spare circuit board because I've just used it in the pumping station. Therefore, for now, I'm not going to supply power at night to the well. That means if I can now make a well, go to blueprint, go to well, and I'm going to right click on the well, it tells me I need 5 packs of screws, 2 electronics, and 5 solar cells. I don't have those at the moment, but maybe I can tear down this power cell that I have here. And maybe, because I'm not using it at the moment, I can take down this solar cell, and hopefully this will give me what I need, which at the moment... actually, no, I have enough. I think I have enough. Let me just double check. If I repair this... it's going to take a little while to repair there. I actually have enough from that one that I just destroyed. Because it was only a few parts that I was missing. So I have enough. Perfect. So that's fine. I can leave those. I can now go and put a second well up here. What that also means is I don't need to worry too much about putting power to these wells at night. Because they're going to store enough water that will allow it to pump through. So let me do this now. We're going to go here. We're going to go for a well. We're going to put a second well. We'll put it next to this one. So it can go just here. Let's just move it over a bit. Here we go. We'll put it just here for now. We'll build this, which we should hopefully have enough parts. I hope we do. Thinking we might actually not have enough parts. No, we don't. We need more solar cells. So we do need to take down that additional solar panel. But what we can do once we've built this is we can connect this up to the pump going in. And then it will be all of it coming in and 100% of it coming out. So we'll have 2 pumps coming in and 100% of it going out to the base, which means we'll have 12 litres of water going into the base. Also, it's going to double the capacity. A well can hold 1,000 litres of water. That means we can have 2,000 litres of water simply held in there. Now, I don't know if this is going to be enough, and I don't really want to pull this down. Let's just unplug the cable. We'll drop that on the floor. We're going to just take this down at the moment. Now, obviously, you can go and get resources. It might be a lot easier for you to do that. Just go and get resources and not do what I'm doing, because you don't want to be taking down your power. But for the purpose of this video and to make things a little bit quicker, I just want to show you what this looks like when it's built. So here we go. We've got our blowtorch out. Do we have the electronics? Yes, we do. We're fine. That's great. So let's go. We can plug this in. And we can bring this down to here. There we go. So now we look at this and we can see we have 2 wells, both turned on. This one's pumping through all of the reserves as well. This one's just 6 litres now because it doesn't have anything spare. But they'll both be generating during the day. And they'll have a surplus, which means we don't need to worry about running the power up to these at the moment, which actually means I can clear up these cables for now. We don't need them. And actually means that I can just bypass this until I get that next circuit board. I can put another well down as well, so I can have 3 of those and give me an absolute abundance of water, just to be safe. And if we have a look here now, we click on this, we have 12 litres coming in, we have 7.6 going out, which we're aware of, that's fine. We have 35 power coming in, we have 17 power, or 17.7 power going out. So that should be absolutely fine. So let's check on our plants and see how they're doing. Well, these now are at 50%, so they're great. These ones are still growing, but they're at 45% at the moment, so they're growing quite slow. So what I might want to do at this stage is put another one of these down. I've got enough to put one more down, so I can do that here. But I obviously need to be aware of my power. That's the most important thing. I can also check inside here and see how these are doing. These are now at 25%, which is great. Okay, so let's take these out of here. We're going to take them out, and we're going to move them across. Every time we replant one, we get a bit of a point in botany, which is what we want. We can only... Oh, we can move more than one at a time at the moment. We're just moving one at a time for now. But what we could do is we could left-click, hold down Control, and we can pick them up this way. So now we've got 12 of them. We can move across here. What we would need to now do is we would need to put these into our toolbar. So this is the only problem, is having the space in the toolbar to be able to split these so that we can do this. Because if I put one down, I then need to go back into my inventory and split them again. Oh, maybe I don't. Maybe I can do this. Hold on. Because I've got the space, I can just keep pressing 1 and do it this way instead. But normally you would need to split them every time. Which is why you need the tray. And a tray is something we can unlock a little bit later. I don't have any more. I think that I have these two, but I think these two are dead. I don't think I can save them. Yep, they're withered. So we can't use them. So we'll just chuck them in there. We'll grab these two. Put that one in there and this one in here. So these are now in the second part of their growth cycle. These are now going to the next part. So let's make sure they've got enough water. That's very important. So we need to give them 1.3 electric and we need to give them 3.6 water. So we have now 12 water coming in and we have 11.2 water going out. So again, we don't have enough water to get us through the night cycle. We're going to keep losing water. So it's very, very important that we keep an eye on this. But now, actually, we have, even though this is still taking the water, we could turn this down now because we don't need it as much. So we can play with this as we need to in the early days. I'm actually just going to plant some more because I think we're gonna need them. So we'll go to number 5. We're out of potatoes there. We've got 6 potatoes left in this one. And now our seed guns are both empty, which means they're now worthless. Now, 2 worthless seed guns, not the seed guns themselves, but the containers, we can throw them on the floor, but that's a bit of a waste. What we want to do is throw them in the bin. Anything you throw in the bin, you'll destroy it. You could put anything in here. You could put your blowtorch. You could put 1,000 silicon in here. You could put 100 concrete in there. It will destroy it. So be very, very careful. Don't mess about. Only put things in the bin that you want to ensure are destroyed. Now these can stay in here. They're going to be absolutely safe. That's not a problem. We can close this. Now because we have no more seeds at the moment, we can, at this stage, lower this water consumption just to be a bit more conservative. The electric stays the same regardless. We're using 19 power now, which is fine. We have enough stored. But the water is where the problem is. We don't want to lose all of our water. We do need to get another well. So that will be the next thing, is to get the resources for a 3rd well. And then that will give us the 18 input for water with a 10 going out. Which means that we're going to be storing a considerable amount of water during the day. so we have backups for the night time. All right, so at the moment, that's everything that we have here. We're just going to wait now until these are finished. So they're only at 48%. These ones are taking some time. These ones are at 52%. That is great. So now we just need to wait. If we look in our tech tree and look at our botany, we have one more point. We can do food processing and we can do seed machine. So we're going to need both of these. Now, the problem at the moment is we need food. Otherwise, we're going to die. But we also need seeds. And seeds are important because without seeds, we can't make more food. So this really depends. If you've got enough food to see you through, and you're comfortable that you've got enough food to see you through, go for the seed machine. Because then you can replant and replant and replant. And every time you plant, you're going to have to, and this is what you're going to have to consider, one potato will give you one seed. So therefore, if you put your potato straight in here, you'll put in one plant, you'll get 3 back. Okay? That means that you can have 1 to eat and 1 for seeds and 1 spare. So you can do it either way. That's the way that I would recommend doing this at the moment. However, if you are in a position where you can use the incubator and you do 50% in the incubator, you will then get 4 potatoes per plant. So 1 potato will give you 4 potatoes. That way you can put 2 as seeds and 2 for food. And then you put the seeds back in, or even just put one in for seeds. So 1 potato goes back into 1 seed. So that way, you know, once you've got to a point where you're fully optimized here and everything is full. See, at the moment we're not. We still have, even though these are fine, on the other one, we still have some more space here. And so we've still got some more space for potatoes. So we want to be able to generate as many as we possibly can. And so whilst we're waiting for these, because there's no space for them, I would consider at this stage, how many rations do I have? But in terms of rations at the moment, I have 3 rations remaining. So I can eat 1. I have 2 rations remaining. After that, I'm not going to have any more rations. But also, once these are done, I'm not going to be able to seed any more. And I want to get these seeds going so I can get them going again. So I'm going to put down a seed machine. Obviously, if you're close to death, go for food. You can eat raw potatoes. They just don't give you as much in terms of your nutrition. But now I've got this seed machine. If I click on food, I have a seed machine. I can put that down. I'm going to need to make sure I've got enough equipment, which is going to be aluminium plates, glass plates, a small engine, pack of screws, and electronics. So I'm going to need to get that. I'm going to have to go and farm that. And then I'll make the seed machine. And then I will come back once this is finished. So I'm going to pause the video right now. I'm going to go away. I'm going to get those resources that I need to finish this seed machine. I'm also going to wait for these to be at 50%. And I'm going to wait for these to be at 100%. So when I unpause the video in a second, it'll all be ready. And then you'll be able to carry on so we're not wasting any time. Okay, welcome back. So this is a very quick for you, but it's taken me a bit of time. I went out, I got some resources. I managed to create the, finish off the seed, as you can see here. So there's 2 things that we need to consider with the blueprints. First is a seed modification machine, and I'll show you that in a moment. And the next is going to be the food processor, which we don't have right now. So what we're going to do, because the reason we don't have the food processor, oh, we do, we can. We have a point in botany, so we can do that. Great, so there's the food processor. I have a feeling I do not have enough to build this. I think I'm going to struggle, so let's have a quick look. Yep, to put it down, I definitely don't have enough stuff to build this. I'm going to need an aluminium plate, a glass plate. So let's have a look. If I go to the blueprint, what it is I'm trying to build, and I right-click on it, it will show me what I'm missing. So 2 aluminium plates, 1 glass plate, and some electronics. That's what I'm missing. So that's fine. I'll do that in a minute. But for you, you'll want to go and get the materials for this so that you can have it. What I'm going to do right now is I'm going to show you, for the purpose of this video, these are now ready to pick up. And in the bottom left, it shows us these are fully grown plants. Number of crops to collect is 3. So what I'm going to do is go to my inventory. And we're just going to put everything... Oh, I've got a tablet there. Let's look at that. Small built-in accumulator. Nice. Okay. All right, let's go back to my inventory where I just was. We're going to put everything down the bottom here that we're not using. So this is all the stuff we're not using. Perfect. Okay, so we have our planting tool. And that's it. Everything else at the moment, we're getting out of the way. Great. So what we're going to do now is pick these up. We just picked up 3 potatoes. Now I could eat one of those. I could consume one. Now my hunger is at 36. And if I consume one, it shows me I'm going to get 4.8 to 6 nutrition. Alright, so let's have a look. 36, 41. Okay, 36 to 41. Let's do that again. So that should take me up to 47. Perfect. And if I eat one more, it's going to give me 4.8 to 6. So that should put me up to about 53. Great. That's fine. Now let's pick up the rest of these potatoes. We're going to pick up all of them. Now remember, these all come from one seed. So let's come over to the seed machine. We need to be able to put our seeds into here. Now this is 33 potatoes that we've just harvested. Okay, now if we do this, what we can do, because what I want you to remember here is from this yield, okay, this was 3, 6, 9, there was 12. So if we say 12, we want to split this. We're going to split into 12. That means that we are now going to get 12 seeds. That means that we have additionally from that yield 21 potatoes. Okay. Now I would like to put some more into this. So what I'm going to do, we'll check these out. These ones have grown as well, but we get 4 from these. We get an extra 25% because they went through the incubator. So let's take these as well. We're going to take all of these. And the good thing about these is we can now split these in half because we have so many. So what we're going to do is come back to the seed modifier. And we're going to apply all of these together. We have 81 seeds, 81 potatoes in total. So we're going to split these in half. And we're going to put half of them into here. And we're going to extract. Now, before we do that, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to my tech tree. I have one more point. So I could do genetic engineering, which gives us a bigger upgrade of seeds when we use the seed machine. So I'm going to go ahead and grab this point right now so that I can show you what this means. What this means now is I've got a second slot. So I could get 40 seeds, or I could split this in half and get 20 seeds, but I'll get a 3% speed bonus and a 5% seed bonus, meaning I'll get 5% more seeds and they'll grow 3% quicker. And you might think to yourself, well, I'm not really interested in that. I'd rather just have the seeds without the bonus. Well, great, we'll do that. We extract. And by extracting that, if we look down here now, open this up, we now have a seed magazine. We can close this. And we now have the ability to plant our seeds. Now, I'm actually going to, you won't want to do this. This is not ideal. But for the purpose of this video, I'm actually going to destroy this and then I'm going to build something else. So let's take down the seed modification machine. And instead, let's build through our blueprints. Let's build a food processor. Because now we should have enough material. I don't think we're going to have enough electronics. We need one more electronic. Let me just see if I can do that. I might just have enough to do one electronic. Let's see. Don't know. We're going to check. We need one electronic. So we'll go to our 3D printer. We need electronics. We do. We have enough. We're lucky. Okay, we're going to print that. Go to our inventory. We're going to pick that up. Great. Okay, so we now have that. We have our 3 water wells up there, pumping our water in. We have our power there. So right now, we have everything we need to be sustainable. And we now have a food processing unit. Great. So we come along here and we have our 40 potatoes. We can put them in here and we'll get 4.8 to 6, which is what they give us. Now what we can do is split these into half. We're going to get half the packages, but more nutrition. Split them again. We're going to get half the packages, But again, we're going to get more nutrition. So now we're going to get 10 packages from these potatoes, but they're going to be 19 to 24 nutrition. We process these.
Available point for technological advancement.
Okay, and then we open this up. And here is our MREs. We've got 10 MREs, which should see us through. So that is how we'll use both the seed modifications and the food processor. In fact, I can delete that one. I don't need it anymore. And so that's all we need to do. So now we've got our 2 plants which are empty. We can open this. Inside here, these are all at 50%. Open up this. And these are almost at 50%. So the next thing I want to do is go back to my tech tree. I have 2 more points here, which is fantastic. So now I can do a small plant crate. Excellent. Let's open that. And also I can go for slower withering. Okay, slow, which means if they decay slower. The reason I'm doing this point is because next I can get faster growth. That means that they're going to grow faster, which means I can get food faster. Then I can go for lower oxygen usage. And finally, I can get my science bench. Once I have that, I can put it down. And then I can start working towards my greenhouse. A large hydroponic shelf and a big plant incubator. Which means I can move everything then out of this room. And I can attach a greenhouse to this. And I can put that on as the next stage. And we'll do that in a different video. We're not going to do that right now. So, I just want to show you the tray. Now, to get the tray, this is the last part of this video. To get the tray, we will need to come outside. And I don't know if we've got enough resources. We need to come to our 3D printer. And we're still sleeping in here at the moment. We're still using the 3D printer for now. But yes, now we can make a small plants crate. It needs a bit of equipment. We're going to do that because we have it. Come back to our plant container. And we're going to pick this up. We can also take that circuit board there. Takes a little while to print this. You can keep an eye on it here. So, takes a little while. But what this will allow us to do, and you'll see this in a moment, is it will allow us to move our plants. More than one at a time. So, we're just going to wait for the print progress to finish. We'll go back inside. And we'll move those plants. And then we're done. That is everything we need to do. In the videos, you saw how to survive on your first night. You saw how to create water. You saw how to create electricity and how to build a power bank. You then saw how to create more water. And now you know how to make food. So now, at this point in the game, there's our plant tray. We've taken it out of our container. We can get oxygen from in here if we need to. So that's one thing we can do. We can sleep in here. We can also, we're safe in here. If there's a storm or anything, we can live in there. We're okay. We have power. We have water if we need it. We still have to run up to get it right now, but that's okay. And now within here, we have this. So go to our inventory, grab our small plant crate, and we can hold it here. So there we go. You can see we can hold 8. So we'll come across to here. Now these ones aren't quite finished. This one's done. So we click on it, we pick it up. These are 50%. So if they're 50%, we'll take them. You could also put your light on in here. It helps you to see a little bit better. That one's not done. That one's not done. That one is. There we go. So now I can move across to here. And I can move across a lot quicker. In order to drop these down, I can just do this. Nice. And I can do the same in here. So these are all 50%. I can pick these up. Put them on here. Nice and easy. Do the same with these. And now you're moving a lot quicker as you're being able to. It's a little game to be able to play to be efficient as you can. I can do 4 more from here. So do 1, 2, 3, 4. Perfect. 1, 2, 3, 4. Great. Now they're full. They're finished. I can now pick up my seed gun. I've got my potatoes from before, so I can put more potatoes down here. Great, that's now full. Come along here, do the same here. And that's it. We're now totally self-sufficient. I can close these. If you close them, they will go quicker. And if I check on this, we now have, make sure we have enough water there. So 2, 2, 3.6, 3.6, everything taking the right amount. So we have 11.88 coming in and 11.2 going out. So that's good. That's good. We have enough. We have more coming in and going out. So now all we need to do is make sure we have enough power going up to these. As long as these are powered, then that means that that will generate that 24 hours a day, which is great. It means we will not run out of water. We have enough electric coming in because we're storing enough as well. So that's great. So we have that. So now we're fine. We have enough food, so we can now sit and eat our rations. So let's have a look. Where are our rations? So here we go. Here's our 10 ration packs that we had. This is all we have. Oh, we had these two as well. So let's just consume these two. All right, so we had those two. So now we are living fully on rationed food. And we have enough rations to see us through. So we are now able to drink water. We are now able to eat food. We are now safe. We have oxygen. We have electricity if we need it. We are now able to survive on Mars. And that's it for this little introduction series. Hopefully it's been useful for you. If you like it, please give us a like. I don't even care if you subscribe, but a like really helps. It's completely autonomous. It doesn't cost you anything. I won't bother you. It just means that if you like it, it helps the algorithm. So please just give the video a like. I'd really appreciate that. And I'd love it if you would leave me a comment. If you want to interact, leave me a comment. I will make sure I respond to you. If you have any questions, if you're stuck, anything you're not sure on, please feel free to ask and I'll do my best. And if you want to see anything, if you would like any videos in the future, please let me know. But for this one, we've done everything we need to do. We just need to get a little bit more botany and then we get our faster growth. We do have some more electric parts here. So look, we can do more efficient panels. So if we do more efficient panels now, we're going to get more energy out of these. We can also do more effective soup battery. We can do more efficient DIY. So there we go. There's lots of things that we can do now in terms of upgrading this. And we're just going to keep working our way through upgrading these points, looking for blueprints to be able to... We don't need this one at the moment. This one's not actually that important. We don't need that one at the moment. But this one will be nice. We can upgrade to increase the battery capacity in vehicles. So this one's good. We need this one. So if we do this one next, we need to get the blueprint, which we have. That means we'll be able to unlock the... If we get the ATV, which again we have, that means that we'll be able to unlock the ATV. Once we unlock the ATV, that means that we'll then be able to, in the next level, we'll be able to craft our own, which goes faster. It's a lot better. So lots of stuff to do. So enjoy the game. Don't rush it. There's no point. Explore some bases. Go and grind. Go and jackhammer some resources. Get your base that you're at this point. This is kind of where you want to get to. This is the early game. This is being able to survive. From here, the next thing you're going to do, and we'll cover this in other videos, is you're going to want to build yourself a bed, a bathroom. You're going to want to upgrade your living conditions, and we'll talk about that in the next video series. So thank you very much for your time. I appreciate you, and good luck surviving on Mars. Speak to you soon.